I was going to ask you about the Stargates. That's before we going to talk about Lemuria, Atlantis.
He back.
Yeah,
he
we're back. Yeah.
Listen,
Look,
that's his new space right now. Like, he has downloads about it. He has messages about it. Because he doesn't like to write down nothing, he knows our journal. He assumes that makes me his assistant, right? So when he wakes up,
okay, you know what? Okay,
when he wakes up in the morning,
I've got to defend myself now. That's it. No, you did it. You got me started. I thought I was bigger than this, but you know what? I'm not. Okay. Let's start. Now, what it is this. You know, you're actually redefining a lot of concept, family concept, why is true family, that perhaps the attachment we have to our body make us believe that blood families are more important than anything else.
Right.
And that's what I guess that make us get us stuck in these karmic loop, whereas we have a problem, one family member can never try to seem to get rid of the problem by sometimes parting ways, even if it's amicably, but we just always refer to the fact, well, yeah, but that's my brother and it's my mom and I can't do that. And, you know, you can have blessed relationships, so to speak. You can have relationships that are flourishing and it just happened that you're related by your blood and maybe there's another history that precede that. But now, obviously, the way you explain it is also redefining all these concepts people are going to have to probably get their head around and seeing it completely differently. Also, you talk about the telepathic aspect of things, which got me thinking, and I'm going to ask you that question. Do you think that languages were, I would say, I'm not going to say forced on us, but was designed to make us telepathically lazy and lose our natural ability to communicate via our minds, our souls, our consciousness. Would you say that was actually what happened? And it was also a way to divide one another? Because obviously, if you don't speak the same language, then you can't really communicate, can you? Mm-hmm. And would you say that also this tethered us to our physical limitation, meaning that unless you use your mouth, so if you have no mouth, you cannot speak. Mm-hmm. Would you say all of this was designed for that purpose and just for us to get past it?
A system was built for us to be reliant on physical interaction. Yeah. So the system was built for that. It reminds me of the Tower of Babel, where the world was split up from speaking one language to everybody speaking all these different languages. And then people read it like, why would God make everybody split up like that? Again, the Bible is just a story of talking about extraterrestrial interactions altogether. Yes, there's a divine presence and a divine God. That's what Jesus came here to teach people about the divine connection. But all these beings they had different agendas to help humans or to not help humans. And so to cause humans to be less non-physical and more focused on the physical had them trapped in this situation where they're not spiritually attuned anymore. So they need to speak physically. And what is the language that was guided for the whole world to use, which was English, that has a lack of energetic power to it. It's bland. It's so bland. Like when you hear an African language, you're like, whoa. When you hear an Asian language, you're like, whoa. Like there's a power to it. When you speak Spanish, it's different than when you speak English. English is so plain and dry and cold. It's designed like that on purpose. So, because when African people are speaking, it's like they're speaking spells because their words have power and the phrases they're using have power. English is designed to be bland, to not have a lot of power. So you could say, I demand clarity in English, but when you say it in African language and they say, they say like something, I was about to mimic it, but they can say whatever it is with this power. It's like it feels different. You can feel the essence of it way more. It's so strong. So it's been done like that on purpose. And I will say, when it comes to soul family and friends, you could have physical family that's just that, because the souls in those physical vessels are not soul family. They're just souls that you're experiencing being physical family with. There's some physical family, like I have some physical family in which I say is my lion family. So they're Lyran souls, and I just have a natural pull to them because they're Lyran souls. Or that's a soul that's maybe Syrian or Andromedan, so they have a lot more, they're just spiritually more powerful. Even if they don't know it, I recognize their soul. Mm-hmm. And so right away, I have a connection to them and they have a connection to me. I know what it is. Maybe they don't, because they don't believe in none of this, but they know there's something there. And so I'm good with that. I'm like, I mean, we're in this experiment and most people don't know what's going on. As long as I get to interact with another soul that's familiar to me, we good. And so even I met some girl at the gym who was he's a Lyran soul, and I was so drawn to her. I was like, I gotta talk to her. So I stopped her and I was like, it's nice to meet you, Lyran soul. Like, it's good to see some family. And she was like, what's a Lyran? What's a Lyran? And I said, I want you to go home and look into Lyrans, but we are soul family, and you have a lot of spiritual power. And right away she went home, and then I saw her again the next day, and she was like, oh my God, I resonate so deep with Lyrans. I'm obsessed now. We need to talk. And she was so obsessed with it. And she would tell me about astral travelings and how she would have dreams of flying and stuff like that. So she was astral traveling. I'm like, you're astral traveling without even knowing what you're doing. And so after that, I was seeing even more why we were drawn together. But ever since we see each other, we're always like lion and lioness. We have that soul respect. And that right there, now we're soul family. And she doesn't even she's not even really into that world, but she's like, now I am. Because she's like, it explains so much.
So much.
Mm.
So we will always have that where we see, like us, for example, we're not blood family, but we are soul family. And that's super deep.
Do you know what's beautiful? When I want to thank you for popping up in the live chat, because our soul family that are there are so tuned in, and they're complexed as well. So there's people who are just starting out on their soul journey, and then there's people who are like just all the way deep in. And the way that we come together and support one another and spark activations and all of these things, it's such a beautiful thing to be a part of. And the way you came in, it was so loving. They hold so much love for you and what you do and what space you hold and what truth you speak. Like, it was just such a lovely moment because there's so many Lyrans there as well. So it's a mixed bag, but there's so many Lyrans in the group as well.
It was great to be in your community and your community's energy, because there is a lot of Lyrans and Andromedans. You guys have a lot of Lyrans, Andromedans, and Syrians up in there, and those are the three spirits. I mean, I respect all spirits, but those are three spirits that I have a unique or a deeper connection to, and just like I consider Pleiadians my cousins. I mean, Pleiadians are a branch of Lyran, so I would just call them, so they're literally cousins. So I'm like, anytime I see Pleiadians, I'm like, oh, cousin, like, what's good, cousin? I see a Lyran, I'm like, yup, we know what's good. When I see an Andromedan, I give like deep respect for them and what they've done for my soul and all these lifetimes and who they are, what they brought here. Big respect. So, and Arcturians, this is like something we don't talk about often, but Arcturians, me and my soul family kind of have a hard time with some Andromedans or Arcturians, because they're so mind-based. And so they think so deeply that sometimes they could kind of get distant from the spiritual side of it. So sometimes they're too logical and it's like, oh, okay, like, all right. But they're so knowledgeable. And the ones that are spiritually attuned have this amazing inquisitive mind that can hold so much knowledge and information. And they make spirituality, they mix science and spirituality together so well. So shout out to the Arcturians. But yeah, like when I meet an Arcturian, I'm like, all right, like I gotta feel your energy because some of them can be a little stuck up. Just as us Lyrans, people would be like some Arcturians would be like, oh my God, like sometimes I roll my eyes at Lyrans because they're too soul based and sometimes they can step away from the logical way of being. So I noticed there is a yin and yang when it comes to Lyrans and Arcturians, but we've built a strong bond together, learning how to blend together. So I want to say for those who are really advanced, you will notice certain souls you're drawn to. And some that are less advanced, you will just notice that you're drawn to certain people or beings and it just feels right. That is literal soul family. The government actually likes to call this cosmic identity. So they call this cosmic identity. Of course, you can see they reword everything. And they say it's where the essence of people that is coming from somewhere else. And so they say the essence of people or the soul of people has history doing different stuff. So some have a different spiritual hierarchy because they have connections with certain soul groups and beings and energies. And so they said cosmic identity is going to be the way people live, and it's going to mean that there's going to be a different hierarchy on Earth because now everybody's going by cosmic identity. So it's like if you're really well known in the galaxy, you're going to be famous on Earth. Or if you have done you're a famous scroll writer or whatnot, you're going to be known for that. So next thing you know, it's going to always start astrally, but you notice physically when they pull up, they're going to be like, oh, hey, like we know you for this and that. And you're like, whoa, like, and it just feels like deja vu. Like, I feel like I know you, but I don't know that I know you.
Yeah. and like that's why I urge everybody to step into their heart space, because this is not the celebrity that we've known of past. This is not the you are known and you are renowned of past. It's past what our mindset can fathom right now is the general message, meaning that this is, yes, hierarchy, but more in a expansive way than a periodic way. The way we've known is over.
I'm glad you said that. It's not like in the old Earth way of like,
yeah.
oh, you're better for this and that. It's just about our connection and what we've done in the universe and stuff like that.
It's that. And as soon as you said it, I know exactly what you meant. But I also, because I'm reading into the collective energies as well, I'm like, I know how this may be taken. Let me just quickly tweak, redirect that in that little situation.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Yeah,
not in a Kim Kardashian type of way, like not that type of notoriety where we kind of like pull them up and drag them down. It's not that. It's like more reverence for what you've done as a soul.
The role you've played in the galaxy. Yeah, just like you said, as a soul. And so when you live out there and then you decide, okay, I'm gonna go to Earth, but you're gonna have to start from zero. You're gonna have to re-remember, and you're gonna have to step into your remembrance again and then get in your mission, because Earth is extra hard mode partially because of that. That's one of the Earth rules, is you have to forget and re-remember, which is why it's an amazing school too. And so to have that, you come here and you forget, say you were like a great leader in Sirius, and you were part of a galactic council where you represented Syrian beings in the galactic council, and you decide to come to Earth. Well, you're still that, but you're just playing in this game, and you're still that though, especially the beings out there, they know you for that. So this is cosmic identity. It's about what role you play within the universe and what you have done, who you are truly. And that remembering who you are again truly is one of the greatest things I would say in the universe. Because once you remember again, you re-remember yourself in a way that you didn't remember yourself before. It reminds me of Cinderella 3. Like when they forget. I love Cinderella, by the way. In Cinderella 3, it's like they forget their connection because the evil stepmother did magic on them to forget who they are. And so then they have to restart, but the connection is still there. And then when they reconnect again, it's even stronger than it was before.
I didn't even know there was a Cinderella 2.
No, I didn't know, but hey.
How about that?
Yo, go ahead and watch number 3. It's so good. And it just reminds people that no matter what, nothing can stop destiny. So even things that are negative, like what's happening on the planet right now that you see looks negative, really it's still part of the divine plan. It's all part of the divine plan. So evil stepmother thinks she could stop Cinderella from getting her king. Okay, well, she can't stop destiny, and she's about to get what she's meant to get even better because there was a negative intervention trying to stop it. You should apply that. Everybody should apply that to their life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is something that we have done so much fold over. Like, that is definitely
Yeah.
a Cinderella story.
I was going to ask you about the Stargates. That's before we going to talk about Lemuria, Atlantis.
He back.
Yeah,
he
we're back. Yeah.
Listen,
Look,
that's his new space right now. Like, he has downloads about it. He has messages about it. Because he doesn't like to write down nothing, he knows our journal. He assumes that makes me his assistant, right? So when he wakes up,
Okay, you know what? Okay,
when he wakes up in the morning, I'm pulling
I've got to defend myself now. That's it. No, you did it. You got me started. I thought I was bigger than this, but you know what? I'm not. Okay. Let's start. Now, what it is this. Sometimes now I've learned over the years to differentiate when I get certain messages between my thoughts and how the messages is when it's a messages directly for me, from my higher self, or from a guide. So usually for me, it goes like this. I get some imagery, but a thought form with a feeling attached to it. Mm-hmm. Whereas when it's me, if I think from the mind, it's just a thought. It doesn't have necessarily a form. I've got a thought, and I consider if I want to keep it for myself, or if I just want to throw it away. But usually, so it feels like it's coming down from above, and then I get this feeling. So, and I realize that when I get this, maybe that can help somebody out there. It's if I don't speak of it immediately, I forget. A bit like dream state. And that's when I know that it's a download for me.
Yeah.
And usually when I tell her this, because she start talking about all the different things, and by the time we finish, I don't remember what it is. That's more what it is. And I don't expect you to write it down. I have to talk it out.
Yeah, he's channeling real fast, and it's like she's trying to keep up. She's like, okay, wait, what'd you say real quick? Okay. I love your guys' connection with that, because we need people who are going to record what people are receiving. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So usually I know, and I don't plan when that comes. It just comes randomly. One thing I've noticed though, when I'm in contact with water, that's usually when it happens for the most part. And I realized when I do the dishes or something like this, and my mind is quiet, this is when it comes. But then the challenge is to be able to whether write it down, not interact with other people, because if you do interact, by the time I'm trying to remember, I just can't grasp it anymore. It's gone. So that's usually how it is. I do not expect you to write it down for me. It's just, when I found out when I talk it out loud, it allowed me to sort of like record it. I don't know if that makes sense. And I know the difference because when I have a thought, I can remember that thought easily. For some reason, that's just the way it comes for me. It's more what it is. But let's talk about Stargates, unless you want to defend this.
You have to set it straight.
I'm going to defend myself. Okay.
Go.
So, because I love you so much, I write it down. Okay. And because you don't know about, pressing record on anything, or
oh my God, I'm a sound engineer. I should say this.
and then I'm hitting home here. I'm teasing him. That's my favorite thing to do. And I realize, like, even in the astral, stay teasing him. But but like, it's inconvenient for you because your hands are mostly wet at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's when you're in contact with water. But when is that? Like when you're baking, when you're cooking, when you're in the kitchen or whatever. So I'm there. I'm like, yo, slow down.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is as well? What I've noticed another thing as well. It's like I don't like writing stuff down anyway. So I'm not gonna lie here. I never liked it. It's also my experience through the school system. There's a lot of things I've experienced at the time, and I was like, you know what? The day I don't have to write anything,
I see.
Heaven for me. So that's really so I built habits where I try to use my perhaps to a disadvantage, but my brain to remember things. So I guess that's why when I speak it out loud, I can then memorize it. So that's more what it is. So to your defense now, I do not write things down. I don't journal. Maybe I should, but I find it really difficult
You
to keep up
don't
with
use
it.
the voice recorder.
And then every time I start to journal a book, because it's very empty, the one who needs it around the house end up to use the book anyway. And I don't claim it back. So by the time I'm saying, okay, today I'm going to journal, there's nothing to journal on.
Enough of his book, then I just like draw a line under it. Yeah, you ain't going to use this shit. Boom, it's mine now.
That's amazing. Like community journal. That's so cute. I love that.
Man.
This is not. But she journal. She journal for days. But because you do a lot of dream recalls and stuff like that, you got a bunch of stuff you have to write down.
I've got to get them down.
So true fact. Like actually, well, not for long. I didn't see you for long. It was like very brief, and I was sitting on the bench with you on just like to say hi, really type of thing. And I was just after I went and shop, because down there on the other side you can go and shop for anything you want. And I remember
because you don't need no money.
No, exactly. So I just bought a hat, a hat that I was wearing, and I thought about the color of the hat, and I was like, okay, let me try to buy a hat. So you will use because you'll use it somewhere.
I stay grabbing his stuff, so
get
a color I like.
So I bought a hat for her, but I was wearing it for some reason. I thought, let me wear it. So that's how I'll be running on there.
Oh shoot!
I remember me and your astral experience. The experience I remember with you was where we were exploring our connection with the dragons, and there was like these there's like these dragons and reptilians that we were like in their civilization, and it's like we realized that our connection goes to the Draconians, and like seeing where we were intertwined there. I remember that experience that I had on my end with you, and that was really cool because anytime I see you, I always just see dragons. So then to go in the astral and to see the different dragon beings and our connection with them together, that was awesome. Yeah.
When I first met him, I was with my sister at the time, and we were like, what? What's this spirit animal? And I was like, we were trying to get it, and I was like, it's snake, it's reptilian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, okay. And she was like, I thought he was more giving dog. I was like, he ain't dog at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I thought bear, but no, we just, no. Take the body away, take all of his muscle stuff away. Just look it in the face. Just look in the structure.
Yes.
I was like, that's dragon, that's reptilian, that's snake.
Big time. Draco family, which is all the dragons, snakes, Nagar, reptilian. Yeah, that's where me and you connect for sure. And so to get to go there and do that was awesome. And then me and you, Shem, we got this connection with Sirius and Andromeda, which I love. And so to get to see like the connection with both of you guys and our connection together is amazing. And then it's like I like to see like a triangle, like to see, because your guys' love with each other is so strong, and then to see how other souls wrap into these connections as well, and how we all connect together is so beautiful. And the Stargates is one thing that I like to use to go a little further than outside the galaxy. Like the Draconians love to use, actually I'm looking at my astral map here, and near Draco I have a black hole that I drew right there, because there's a black hole they like to use to jump in and out. And a bunch of areas in the galaxy I noticed they use either made technology to make a portal, or it is metaphysically like a portal, and then it's like a rip in space and time that's there, or it's like a white hole almost. It's like a star, like that they could use. They could go into the star and then go out somewhere else, like come out of a black hole or something like that somewhere else. So I noticed stars are also portals, or like if you want to say a sort of white hole where energy is emitted outward as black holes as energy is coming inward. And so these stargates are literally everywhere, and there's areas where they naturally are reoccurring. Stargates is like going to the bathroom and opening up a door, and like going to the bathroom real quick and going to the bedroom is like how they use stargates. It's like, oh, we need to go to Andromeda real quick. Oh, I know a quicker way. Let's use this stargates and whatnot. So those are very common, And the Stargates we've had here, like pyramids, we've used the pyramids to create gateways. We've had areas like Stonehenge, in which was like an energetic vortex in which we used to have contact with ETs and have them land and stuff like that. Yeah, this stuff is very common, but to use it in the astral, I noticed, is more for people that have done it already, or their soul has done it so much to them doing it in the astral realm is like it's just a regular day. They may not even know it, but just doing it, they're like, yeah, this feels kind of familiar. Like I've just done this before. Yeah, I love Stargates.
You just touched on something for me. I'm a run it back a couple of times. Number one, I think people will be interested in how we know each other, and I know it's a Tuesday for us, but like those dragons have lovely. Yeah. They're gonna be like, hang on a minute, you just speed past that and then just drop something about some. So for the sake of that, I know someone's gonna be like, thanks, Shem, because I was about to say. All right, so we have had contact with Cash, like in the astral, just going, meeting up, chatting, blah. And then we come back. Now, we all remember different parts of that. Like, I'll remember some, and then he'll be like, no, we were here. And I'll be like, you know what? I remember that bit. That bit's a bit phasey for me, but this is what we were chatting about. Yep, we were chatting. Boom. So that's how it is, as far as consciousness is concerned. And this is what I wanted people to understand as well. Sometimes you can have astral travel with someone and one of you might remember it, and I know you've mentioned this before, one of you might remember it as a dream and the other one might remember it as full-blown OBE. The other one might be like, no, that's when actually I was meditating that day and then you all caught me and it's like I was on my way somewhere and I was like, oh yeah, let me say hi. So these are all the ways that we can have these experiences and share these experiences together, especially when you are soul connected as well and you have so much soul history here in this construct. Like, I wanted to also touch on two things. I'll go back to Omondi's one about Draco and I'll also talk about the Syrians. Now, before this 1, 2, 3 and me thing came out and everyone and their mum was trying to find out what DNA they had, because that was that was a real wave. That was a trend and a half. Like, everyone was trying to find out, where do I come from? It was interesting. But to say Syrian, my grandfather had always told me we're Syrian. And growing up, I was like, okay, Syria, isn't it? The country. Yeah. And my mum would always call me, Arab gal. And I'd be like, but please. You're just saying it because I'm the lightest one in the family. You all got problems. You got problems with the fact that I get sunburned. Like, leave me alone. It was that type of thing. It was just a tease, yeah? But she'd always say Syrian. I come to find out, no, there's not one Syrian person in my family. It was actually a part of India. But that's another story. But then when I started looking into like my galactic histories, some of my DNA strands, I'm seeing Syria there loud and clear. And I was like, now you say Syrian, I'm like, it just don't stop. So yes, the Syrian relation is a definite, I'm definitely like aligning with that. I've known it for a very long time. I grew up always hearing it, but assuming it was the country. But my granddad never told me it was the country. But now he's gone and I know his name was actually Serafin. And so I'm like, you've been trying to say, but you know, when you guys be telling you something and you be like, it was that vibe. Lovingly, but
that's beautiful.
I brushed him off.
You knew it then too, but didn't understand like what it meant, and then it was designed like that on purpose. Like, tell them they Syrian, and then they figure out what it more means later. And now that you're deep in it, it's like now with that clarity, you're able to explore that part of your soul DNA, and also the people that you meet that are incarnated on Earth that are connected with that DNA as well. So literally soul family. And then to meet them and we see each other, we're like, whoa, we don't know. It's like meeting blood family in the physical. It's like, I don't know why we look so alike, why we feel so alike, but let's see. And then you realize that you're related later. Yeah, just 100%. Like that.
100%. Now back with Omondi and the Draco, like.
So then just before that, so basically last night, it was basically so I was shopping, like I said, I just wanted to buy that hat. I was so proud of it. Like I was just so like, yeah, that's the perfect hat. So I was wearing it straight. Then I decided, okay, I'm gonna sit. So what happened is, it's another thing is when you know, it's because I was from sort of like a dream, and I become more and more and more lucid in it. So by the time I sat down, and by the time I actually met you there, I was very lucid. So I knew that, and then I don't remember exactly what we talked about, but everything was telepathic, and then after that, maybe what felt like 5-10 minutes, you said to me, it's time to dip now, to go. I was like, all right, because some people started, and that got me thinking about things you say, starting noticing us, like just like they wanted to talk to us and gather around us and stuff like that. And I realized that's what you're saying is because I didn't notice that. I was like, I see what you're saying. That I say, yeah, all right, let's go then. Just once
you start getting spotted, it's like, all right, we gotta hop on here.
They're starting like coming, like they want to talk to us. I don't know. It was like, I see what you're saying is, because at first I was like, what was going on? And I was like, and I look around. I was like, okay, time to go. Just and that brought me back to the thing you were saying, where you can be on the other side, and then you can realize people recognize you. You may not know them, but they just are going to start wanting to talk to you, and you were very aware of that energy where people. So you're all definitely famous out there. Tell you that.
But it's just a different type.
Yeah, I just want to talk to you. It's like
they just want to talk to you.
Some look at you, they won't say nothing, but they look at you, and the more you interact with whoever, the more they get interested. Like they're like, okay,
yes,
let me just and they just kind of slowly approach towards you. They're not trying to harm you or anything.
No, harm.
But it's like but I know you were like, no, like just.
It's what it means to be a person with. I want to say this in I want to reword it. A way in which your soul is known out there. Yeah, we'll say it like that.
Yeah,
it's like you're really well known out there, and you come here. And then when you start going out there and you start seeing, whoa, like these people already know of me and they know what I'm doing as well. You start to. Just like you said, it's like we're in awareness. Okay, if we go certain places, we're gonna be known, and even we're gonna have some enemies too. People that really don't. I mean, it depends on where you go, because 90% of the galaxy is positive now. But like if you go to a dark area, they're gonna already know you because maybe of what you've done to them or whatever, and then the positive ones know you for what you've done for them and for also seeing what you're doing on Earth. So yeah, this is where definitely we talked about spiritual status earlier. Yeah, all you guys, especially starseeds, will notice you get kind of, like I say, spotted because your soul is just known. And especially they, like you said, they just want to talk, or they want to it'd be like if you saw Rihanna walking down the street, you'd be like, yo, like, hey, like, what you doing here? And like, how you doing? You just want to have that conversation. Yeah.
That energy. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. So you wanted to talk now.
Omondi's Rihanna, bro. Yeah, Rihanna got spotted on that block.
I think for you, I think that's what you.
This is how he stay. He always clueless like that. Like.
Yeah, I didn't know. We're chatting and you say, oh, it's time to dip now. Then you were like, I was like, what? I said, what? I was like, and I look around, I was like, oh yeah, I get it.
This is how he stayed. Like when we were in France, yeah, we had a couple songs on the radio at the same time, yeah. And needless to say, I already knew the songs was going to be big. So, because I'd had some messages about it, and I was like, you know what, I can't sing this because I don't want this type of this type of energy right now. I'm looking to have some kids. Like, I just want to be pregnant and mind my business, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I asked someone else to do it at the time. And then we were shopping. Me, her, and him were shopping. Like, just in a regular grocery store, yeah? So then, out of the blue, we hear screams. Like, ah! Oh my God! No, no, no. But imagine it's French, yeah? Oh, no, no, sacré bleu. La, 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 la. That's me doing French. And they cut these girls, like a group of girls come running full speed down the aisle. And he's looking at me like, what is going on? And I'm like, you don't see who we're with. I know we regular, but they think, you know. And then he was like, let's dip. He always loves to dip. And I'm like, this is why I stay with you on Astral, because you don't know when to just let's dip. Let's go.
But this is how you know this is one thing to confirm for him beautiful. On his end that what he's doing is for real, because to travel and then see or to experience and then learn about it after is let you know you're doing something right, because many people learn first and then they experience, but it's so divine when you experience first and then learn after, and that's something that is very divine.
It is, and I can attest to the fact that for him, he's still like, nah, I just want to do the work.
You know what, Cash? You gotta live your life. Like, for me, it's just like, hey, and you know what? How you remain yourself. At the end of the day, you know, if you're always trying to look out for what's going on around, and I know there's a certain awareness you do have to have, and for sometimes, you know, what people will say, the protections, but at the same time, you know, you remain yourself by just not minding too much either. Mm-hmm. So that's just the way, that's what I feel comfortable with. So that's more what it is for me. So, hey, it is what it is, you know.
You know what we should do next time when we're in the astral is we should have a little like conscious gathering event in the astral. Like we go to maybe a planet in Orion and hold a space, almost like a concert where we're just talking to different beings that are watching us right now, or that are fans of us and want to come and engage with us. I started going to some cities just to do that, just to socialize. Wow. And it's really fun to meet these different beings that look all different, and they all know of you in different ways. Whether they're like, oh, you helped my planet in this, or you came here like 1,000,000 years ago, or oh, right on Earth, we're watching you do this and that, and we're fans. Like, we're watching it like it's the Kardashians. Like, we're keeping up with every episode. That is fun to me.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, but you know, I stay asking to leave the construct. Like, I stay like, no, no, tonight, just get me out of here. Like, I'm leave the construct. Like, I'm all the way out. All the way out. I'll go back to like I've got my desk. I've got some snow globes everywhere of the different.
I like that you got your own astral spaces. You got your own astral houses and office space. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've got my own stuff. Like I'm just trying like go back as much as I can, and then I'm like, sometimes I'll be roaming around. Like, he took me out the other day. We went somewhere nice, but I was like. But that sounds interesting.
Listen, no, come on. You know what? Lately, you were asking before I think we start recording. So how was that week and all that, and then and I didn't actually say it, but I'm experiencing right now a lot of galactic different alternative life. One, you know what it is, yeah. I must have done my affirmation before I went to bed, which I like to say that's the equivalent of praying before you go to bed, so you can be in control of your dream. But that was for actually an out-of-body experience. I wanted to do some things, I wanted to go outside of the construct, stuff like that. But just before I went to bed, I was actually over my drawer, and then I saw a paper writing on it. And I'm like, oh, what's that? I started reading that paper. That is her affirmations. But I didn't realize that was hers. By the time I come to the end, it's all like an affirmation to see your soul records and stuff like that, and see previous lifetime or alternative lifetime.
You saw my handwriting.
So I'm thinking, well, I've done my affirmation. So I'm not actually thinking this is an affirmation I'm reading, which means that I'm actually commanding something else. So when I went to bed that night, I'm having a very lucid dream of being a warrior on a planet, walking around, doing patrolling, and an invasion, a spaceship coming in with some of these other warriors trying to basically, I guess, what is attacking the planet. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? And I realized that I was
That's what you
black.
get.
I was black,
for reading my things.
No, but that was in my drawer, in my defense. But you know what? And I realized,
it was.
I was all tattooed up. I had like big, like sort of like a tattoo on my leg, and we didn't have much clothes, but we just were technologically advanced. That was the actual contrast there. Whereas these beings coming in, all humanoid, were very advanced looking, where they had armor and stuff like that. And then I find myself being a sort of a fight. And then it's been a couple of days now where I'm experiencing sort of like there's a war somewhere and stuff like that. So all of these things. He's
getting a lot of galactic remembrance.
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting. So when you're saying going in other places and stuff like that, and you say like that's what you love to do, I'm like, listen, that was my quiet time when I actually told you to go somewhere in the astral. Because I was like doing some stuff. It was like, I had some quiet time. You wanted more excitement.
That's amazing that you're getting memories like that. That's what you get for reading her things, just like she said.
That's what I'll send you all over the place, mate.
That is amazing because I love, one of my favorite things is getting past life memories and putting together the puzzle, because also what you get in that memory is also helping you in whatever is happening in this lifetime. It's literally downloading more of your higher self into you now. And so that remembrance reminds me of the show, The Island. I love this show. It's the one where they're in a sort of construct on an island alone. They don't know who they are, what's going on. Meanwhile, without spoiling it, they realize that they're in a sort of construct built to test them and see if they're rehabilitated. And it's amazing. It reminds me of Earth a lot. And so then to get these and to see them get their memories as they're in the simulation, and then to understand who they are and then to see how they react, you for sure were a warrior. And this is some of what we did together as well, is we did a lot of protection in Draco, and we was fighting a lot of negative Draco. Like it was like a war within our own community. And so we was battling that, and we had these, we like to call them the Draco Wars. And there was some stuff that we did externally, which was protecting other planets, especially in Orion, from negative beings. So me and you definitely got strong connection with that warrior side.
You know what? It's funny because there was another person with me at that time as well. I can't really recall, but when we were two guy patrolling and stuff like that, and that is what actually, because as late I keep on having these things regarding Lemuria, and sort of like, something I have to look into that. But the way we were, the color type of person, it's not fully like black. It's like you black, but more like Polynesian black. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it's funny you say some of the same people. The invaders were the same way. They were looking black, but they love to wear armor and stuff like that. And they had these features where they are black, but like a mix with Arab and black. And then whereas we were black, more like Polynesian black, it felt like but we were a lot alike, and like you say, we were like kind of fighting one another.
He was with someone as well. He had there was two of them patrolling.
Yeah.
It was like that was like my combat person.
Yeah.
So
we're patrolling as well. We're doing.
Oh.
Yeah, and then what I noticed
any resonance with the fact that Cash just told you you're all about
but that's what took place. But there's more details to that. And I think I spoke on one episode about that. But yeah, there was a lot more details on, and then at the time I was experiencing, when you experience these type of things, you're in the body, out of the body, you see everything around, you know what's going on, you can sense the other person's, what they're feeling, how they feel and stuff like that. So that was all of that. Yeah. But we'll talk in a minute about Lemuria, but do you want to know more about the Draco, you say?
No, the only reason I'm saying that is because also you've been having lots of galactic stuff coming up this week. So the mere fact that you're chatting to Cash as well, like I knew because that you're our go-to galactic. Like it's just, it just is. Like you're the one who spends the most out of all of our soul family, who spends the most time in Realm 2, knowingly, deliberately. Most of us just like remember our way in there and find our way in there. But you're like, no, I know what this is. I just wanted to touch on Orion a little bit. And you were saying the floating planets in Orion. So it's funny because we were going to name one of our kids Orion. And
wow.
Yeah, we were. And for no reason, for no good reason other than we really just was like drawn to calling him that. We got it. Well, he got a dream, and it was like a whole council situation. Where they said to him, "Nah, his name's gonna be this," and we were like, "Middle name."
They choose the name.
You're not the boss of me. That will be the middle name.
Yeah,
like we still take. Yeah. That's what my thing is with. I think is lovely that you have with your guides that you're just like, I will listen to you, but you're just a guide. You're not the boss of me. Like
free will things. Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like, yeah, thanks for the guidance and everything, but I have the final say in this. Mm-hmm. Which is the whole point of stepping into your power as well. That you just like, you're available for me to be able to get guidance from, but that doesn't mean that I don't get the last say.
Right.
And I love that about you as well, because you do like, you're like, yep, okay, thanks for the help. And I'm going to go do my thing.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But
okay.
Floating planets is funny. I was just going to mention that real quick. I had an OBE where felt leaving my body, everything, like, I was 100% conscious, where I went somewhere, I was in instances of myself, and it was floating planet there.
But now you know it's Orion.
Yeah, and it was funny because I didn't pay much mind to it. It's like I was almost on autopilot where I'm used to it. And then and people there were black, but with like coolie hair. For the one who don't know, it's like Indian looking hair. And,
yo, you're such a Jamaican. Oh my god. I haven't heard only Jamaicans say coolie, bro.
This is what I'm saying. Once you start hanging around a Jamaican, if you marry one and have kids, that's it. You're Jamaican.
Yeah.
Well, look. You know what? Not only Jamaica, it's in the West Indies. I'm
100% Jamaican.
A lot of people prefer, to black people.
And he stay with his broken English. Everything he has to add a H on, the hoven.
Yeah, listen, it's not a coincidence. There's no coincidence.
No coincidence.
But just to say that,
a Jamaican.
But just to say that, and then me down there, I ask that guy, which was me. Are you black? This is me because you still are who you are. Yeah. I wanted to know if he was black, because I say, hang on, you look black, but your hair was straight. Like, what was, what's going on? Are you black? And then he said to me, yeah, I am black.
The guy with the coolie hair say to the guy with the coolie hair.
No, but it's funny. My hair, they're not coolie. Come on. Anyway, I digress. Come on, I'm trying to stay focused here. So Cash, look.
Are we not looking at the same thing, people?
Okay.
Listen.
Put a pin on that one.
Okay, go.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, so I'm here asking if the guy is black, whereas I'm seeing these floating islands in the sky, and I'm just like, oh wow. But I'm like, that my priority should have been asking about these floating islands. So when you mention these things and you say it's Orion, that's good, because many of our community, some of people in our communities have experiencing these floating islands, whether it's in dream state, lucid dreaming, or OBE state. So you've been there, and you're saying it is in Orion for some of it. I'm guessing there's probably somewhere else in the universe.
At least they could maybe begin to put a name, or at least to be like, maybe it's there.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be, but at least they might be able to be like, you know what, that makes sense to me, or that resonates with me, or that don't resonate.
A lot of those cities are in Orion. So I've noticed, and going to Orion, there's a lot of cities there. And so the wars in Orion lasted so long. They were millions of years long because it was a war between light and dark. And so, and Orion is like a mix of everybody in the galaxy. It's like the America of the Milky Way, and you know exactly what that's like. And so that bridge that made a war between light and dark that went on for so long, and nobody won at the end of the day. It was a stalemate because light against dark. It's no one's gonna win when there's two halves fighting each other, and so. Yes, malevolence disappeared, but the energy of light and dark, which is different from benevolence and malevolence, was disappearing. And so everything was becoming more unified. And so that's when everybody realized we can't fight each other. So now Orion is a good mix of everybody in the galaxy and different areas of the universe too. And so there's a lot of cities you could go to there, and a lot of these like floating cities that are there. And so when people say Orion, they typically think about these type of places because those are very common. Of course, you can find them elsewhere, but they're very, very common in Orion, and they're fun to go to socialize or to network. I mean, just to network and see who you come across and what's there. You make all these. It'd be like just going to the city and being like, "Who do I meet? Let's see who I meet." Some people, you're like, "Oh, we're always gonna have this friend connection." Sometimes you meet people, you're like, "Oh my god." Like I remember I went to an Orion party, which was in a floating city, and there was like I'll never forget, there was like an elephant being, and I kept saying in my head, "The elephant in the room," and I kept saying that in my head, and I'm looking at that, and then I'm seeing like this like very dark skinned guy with locks, and I'm seeing someone with like an elf, and she was like so good at singing and playing music. It was beautiful. And that's the time when I saw a version of myself walk in, as well as before that, I was meeting this lady who was a galactic traveler. And it's funny because in the astral realm, I knew her and I knew that I knew her, but my human mind didn't clock that. My human self was like, huh? But my soul was like, girl, what's up? Like, it's been a while. Of course, your astral self knows a lot more than you do. So we were connecting, and she was wearing all this like colorful clothes, and they had like jewels on it, and her eyes were a little bit slanted, and she had this look in her eyes where you could tell she's been everywhere. And me and her dabbed each other up like we used to travel together a lot. And she was like, "What? Like, it's so nice to see you." And I was like, "It's so nice to see you too." And we were having a whole discussion. Like, it's like I haven't seen my homegirl in like hundreds of years, it felt like. Oh. And that was so beautiful. And so anytime I go to a city, I get to meet new people or interact with soul family that I know of, and get to finally interact with them. Going in the astral realm is like going in the real world. The physical is the video game, because we're here on this mission, but this mission isn't who we are. We're just here playing this character, but we're way beyond that. So even humans are going to know of who we are, because imagine when we take off the veil, or like the shield that's been put around the planet, basically isolating us. When that's taken off, and then now we're allowed to interact with Galactic Society, humans finding their way in Galactic Society, as Galactic Society finding their way with Earth as the universal genetic library, as the school it was, all of that. Whoa, now all the starseeds that are here are going to awaken fast to who they really are, and then realize, oh my God, okay, I got family here, but I also got family out there. Like, I want to go understand them. Imagine some of the movies you guys been watching, like Avatar, like Valerian, the City of a Thousand Planets. Real beings depicted that you may even just watch and feel really drawn to. Like, I'm so drawn to Avatar and the Na'vi, or the blue skin beings in Valerian. I'm just so drawn to them. It's because they're real beings depicted in the movie. And what's going to happen is everything's disclosed, and it's like, whoa, those beings I watched in that movie are for real. And it explains why I'm drawn to them, because they're my soul family, and da-da-da. It just opens up people's awareness. And then people realize everything that was put here in plain sight was put there for that reason. So then it's like, oh, all we got to do is watch the movie to understand more of that civilization. And then I could just go there astrally or telepathically go there, whatever it is. Yeah.
So you're referring to the end of the construct. It sounds like basically the veil lifting, all the different realms that are separated.
Merging.
Just merge. Yeah.
The star beings like to call this star way. This is when the humans find their star way, and they're going to interact and integrate with Galactic Society as Galactic Society starts to merge with them. This planet is home to our soul family. It is a deep home for us. And we here are now like, you know what? Some of us are going to want to stay in these human bodies because it's attached to this planet. And this planet is super important. And everybody's watching Earth. Everybody's connected to Earth in some way. And so some of us are going to be like, you know what? We get to hop in different bodies at different times to go home. So we literally get to like step out of this body and step. It's like clothes. Like I get to go in that one for a bit. But many of us will just want to stay in this body more often because of what we've been through before the construct was taken off. And also its connection with this planet and this DNA, especially as Black people, has all the DNA of all the humans and star people out there too. So this human body is meant to be a genetic mix of so much other life forms. And that's what makes it so unique.
So what would be the relation between the Dracos and Orion? Could you, for the one who don't know, explain a little bit more about the history of that?
The Dracos started, for those who remember the Orion Wars, it started with, remember the Lyrans are basically most of the beings in the galaxy's ancestors. So it'd be like Black people. It's like the Black people spread out and then made the Europeans and made the Indians and made Native Americans, all that stuff. It's like that for Lyrans. So the Lyran souls decided to make Lyran vessels, and those vessels started spreading out over years and making other beings. And then after a while, the Dracos came, which were created by other beings, as humans were created by the felines. And they came, and then there was like a clash. It was like the different agendas. The Dracos at that time wanted dominion, they saw the galaxy as their divine right to what's theirs. As the Lyrans were like, this is ours and it's our destiny to be a part of this as we're connected to all of it. It's like in Avatar, the RDA meeting the Na'vi. It's like different ways of being clashing. So that started the Orion Wars. And then that branched to the Orion Wars, which lasted super long. And that was a war between light and dark. I mean, if you watch Star Wars, that's a documentary. Just take away the lightsabers, it's a documentary. And so the Dracos were a huge part in the negative force, but now it's different. So there was a sort of war between the Dracos as well, fighting amongst each other of, look, we got power. We can't be using it to dominate. We need to merge with everybody else and be like, this is their home too. And so this is something that we're seeing repeated on Earth. Again, Earth is a library. So of course it's going to repeat the history as it has been. Seeing the Europeans, which were hosts for the negative reptilian agenda, meeting Native Americans, meeting Africans, meeting Indians, are trying to dominate over them. True thing. And it's like, look, just like Europeans were like, wait, we can't, why are we trying to dominate over everybody? This is their home too. We need to merge with these people. This is the part of history we're in right now, and it's ending because humans need to find their own way. So they're realizing, we can't fight each other. We need to unify, which is what happened in the galaxy too. So we're just seeing a repetition of history on purpose, because all this, it's like all the beings are watching what's happening on Earth, is seeing what happened in the galaxy, seeing happen on a small little planet here that's a mix of everything. And so they're seeing a small version of what they lived through. They're like, we've been through that. We've seen that. But they're really seeing themselves in us as they are us. We're blood and soul family. So to have that is mesmerizing. And Orion's always going to be an important part of our galactic history because of those conflicts.
And what do you have to say for the one who think that the reptilians obviously are all negatives and any sort of connotation Dracos to it, or but surprisingly, a lot of us know that the dragon is very positive energy and the relationship between them.
Very wise.
Oh, bless, very wise. The dragons are, their purpose is to be, I would say, like, for lack of a better term, guides and protectors of the universe. So they're great beings that operate. So you'll notice no matter what type of being you are, there's dragon connections. Even if you watch House of the Dragon, that's a depiction of a Lyran civilization that merged heavily with Draconians. And so they were known as dragon riders. Draconians didn't like that. The negative ones didn't like that. And so Valyria was actually like an experiment. It was like to see, okay, what if we merge Lyrans and Draconians together? Let's see what happens. And so you can see in House of the Dragon, they were blood connected. And then they destroyed themselves because of the negative influence that was trying to get them to destroy themselves. You already know the drill. And so that happened. And so we see a lot more Dragon Rider souls now and Dragon Rider civilizations out there. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And so that's...
I'm definitely one.
That's how it is. And so this was an experiment before to kind of merge. So now things are way better. Like, I have a lot of Draconian family. Incarnated and unincarnated. Like, my physical mom is someone that we've had a lot of soul exploration and connection with. I was a Lyran and she was a Draconian, and we had a strong bond together because we always wanted to blend the communities together. So me and her had lifetimes over lifetimes of being really soul connected and working together to blend the two sides. So the integration you see like in 1960s, imagine that with Lyrans and Draconians. It's like the Draconians are like, this is our home. We could just take it. We could just take it. And the Lyrans are like, they don't like us. We should just kill them right now. It was like yin and yang thing. And it's like both sides. Yes, the core of it may have started with a sort of misunderstanding and benevolence and malevolence clashing, but then it formed into hate against hate. Like, oh, we hate the Draconians. Oh, we hate the Lyrans. We got to blend that. We got to fix that. So that, yes, I'll be truthful. A majority of the malevolent force is reptilian-led, but that does not mean that all reptilians are negative. Because if you look at the reptilian force altogether, the reptilian species, most of them, 80% of them are positive, as the dragons are as well. So we can't look at everything black and white, just as you can't look at every race on Earth and be like, oh, they're this or they're that. You can see that there's cultures and experience, but you can't say just because they look like that they are this. Yeah.
So what's the relation between the two then, dragon and reptilians?
Dragons would be like the hierarchy of the Draconian bloodline. So we have dragons, then we have, of course there's others, but I'll say it in this simple way. Dragons, Alpha Draconians, which are like big reptilians with the wings. And then we have the reptilians. Then we have like the smaller reptoids. And then we go to like lizards and stuff like that, which are just what the ETs call smaller versions of themselves. Any animal you see here is in Earth translation, smaller versions of them are their ancestors that they placed here to, like, again, genetic library, keep their DNA, their ancestors. So the dragons would be at the top. And dragons work with so many different civilizations, as like the Lyrans, the Syrians, the Arcturians. They all work with dragons in different ways. But they are like the great leaders, just as we could say feline souls would be like, or great feline spirits would be great protectors and leaders. So they operate on just a certain hierarchy for that bloodline or species, but they work with all the species, of course, with everything.
All right.
That really resonates with me. Like I said, Dragon Rider energy, 100%. That was when I first started activating into all of this, like that was one of the first energies that came through. And I was like, wow, that threw me for a loop. I was not expecting of all the things that, because people are like, they don't want to front run this. Like, oh no, I'm going to be a blue being. And then after that, I'm going to do, and then it's nothing like what you think.
Right.
It's like you have to let it unfold. And sometimes it unfolds in ways that you are not prepared for. And I wasn't prepared for well, I was ready but not prepared, if you see what I'm saying. For the information I got about dragons as a whole, I mean, I've always had a connection with dragons. I've always thought about them. I mean, when Game of Thrones came on, I was all in.
Yes.
Okay? I couldn't stop screaming at the screamer. I was like, Danny, get your shit together. You need to train them. You're just leaving your babies.
Yes,
like,
bro. Me too. Yo,
what do you
I really
expect?
resonate with them so much. Like, that was my girl. Her and Sansa Stark were my girls. Like, Sansa lived the Lyran story. Like, seeing her home destroyed, and then her like experience the greater world, and then come back and rebuild her home. Ooh, Lyran story to a T. And then see Daenerys as a dragon-blooded being take back her power. Ooh, bless. Like, to see how these stories are showing the galactic story. This is all designed on purpose. So when you watch these things, I was just watching American Horror Story, and I finished the season that's called Coven. I love that one. It's
It's my
dark.
favorite season.
That's my.
I think it's like season 3 or something. Or
Yeah,
season 2.
I just finished
It's
it last
my favorite
night.
season.
It's so
Love
good.
it.
I know there's a second season that's like an extension of it, which I'm about to start tonight. But that one's so good because it shows the witches' history, positive and negative witches, and seeing what they've been through and their journey. Like, I'm watching it, I'm seeing all their abilities and stuff. I'm like, this is for real, for real. They're depicting real history, real abilities here. And that is beautiful. They put all this in plain sight for you. And as you can see, there's also an agenda that's trying to make it seem less legit. But you guys all know it is extremely legit. And right now, as humanity, we're finding out the truth of what this legitness is. And these souls that are here that have done all this, look at all the movies and shows and video games we've played. Imagine people awakening and seeing, whoa, like Metroid. I used to play Metroid all the time and realizing, yo, there's souls here that have lived that, have done that. Halo, souls that have lived that, like me and Omondi have done this, where we've been in Halo lifetimes and fighting the
He
Covenant.
was telling me all week.
Yeah.
All week.
True.
I'm like, yo, babe, you do your thing, innit? Like,
As you know what, is the thing we use as well. We use a lot of because we can read. We're able to read the opponent's mind easily. So we knew how to play weak and to make them drop the guard, and just in order to be able to then respond offensively. We knew a lot of there's a lot of things that I found out, like, wow, we the way it's not brute force. It wasn't the ethos. The ethos was just like, you use your smart, basically. So it's an eye opener and in how things are were conducted. And technology doesn't mean you're fully robotically dressed. It was like we choose on purpose to walk around. We had these shorts, but it was just like very tribal, but purposely with these jewelry. So they were like sort of like mixed between crystals and stuff like that. And had you just see them now, you would think like, oh, they primitive. There you go. And not at all. We're aware of the technology and everything, but we choose to
highly spiritually advanced.
To walk barefoot as well, to be right in contact. And it felt like a maybe an ancient place on Earth. I'm not too sure if it was on this Earth, but it felt like Earth, but maybe older. Yeah, and that's what led me to well, obviously we're going to touch on this very quickly, but
no, Cash gonna come back.
I'm feeling like,
you're right.
We got to do part 3 now.
It is what it is.
There's so many things to talk about. That's what it is. So we're gonna have to do that again.
I actually wanted to talk to y'all about this. I've been exploring beyond the ice wall. I did not think this joint was real. I was like, nah, we ain't doing that ice wall stuff. But
that's conversation's gonna be bumping because I got peoples there.
Antarctica, ice, so beyond the asshole.
No, I'm writing it down.
And the moon well. We're going to talk about the moon.
I'm writing it down.
Let me and the moon. Yeah, I know.
And let me make it clear for everybody watching that the Earth is not flat. but there is a wall in which blocks off other continents that are on this planetary biosphere. So there is other continents. I did not see it as real because I was like, oh, I know there's an inner Earth. I've been there. But the other continents, I didn't think beyond the ice wall. But my homeboy, who is really, his name is Genie, by the way. He's super wise. He was
Is that the one you've had on your show?
Yes. He's super smart.
You know what? It's Genie Dot, right?
Yeah.
I love the conversations you share with him.
You guys would want to have him on because me and him astral travel a lot together, and we exchange wisdom with our powers and help each other understand the nature of reality. And one thing he made me aware of, he's like, yo, there's concepts beyond the ice wall. And I was like, for real? I'm like, he's like, yeah. And he was telling me about it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go check it out tonight. First, I did it in a partial astral travel. I just meditated and I was like, whoa, this is real. And then I went there at night, just going to sleep and going there. Wow, it's super cool. And so me and him just would exchange what we've seen and kind of like understand it together. Me and him always, when we're trying to understand big things, we usually go on these missions together and then we understand it and then we make videos about it or teach about it. But I have been doing a lot of missions lately. So I know by the time we talk about it, I'll have even way more understanding. But there is way more continents.
We're going to have you on again. I mean, let's not act like this isn't a series. This is a mini series, folks. And this is official now. So these conversations are so plentiful, are so deep, are so expansive, and so activating for us. Like, we really enjoy your energy. We really enjoy your love. We really enjoy your passion for all these things. And we're really honored that you come and freely just share this with everybody. And it was lovely having you on again, and we'll have you on soon. Yeah, for sure.
We'll put all your contact in the description. Because obviously you mentioned it the other time.
For those who have seen you for the first time, where can they catch you?
Thank you guys for having me on once again. You guys can find me on Instagram, I'm King Cash, or TikTok, The King Cashes. You guys can click my link in that bio. Everything will be right there, and I will catch you guys there when it's time.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And as our parting message is, who are we and why are we here?
We are here to bring the world into the new era it's meant to step into, one that is like what happens once in a blue moon in this galaxy, is to see a whole civilization rise in consciousness and integrate with the galaxy and the rest of the universe. We are here to do this exactly, and you guys are part of it. You guys are way more important than you know. You stepping into your power is the world stepping into its power, and that you need to know right now.
Wonderful. We love you so much. We appreciate you, and we will see you next time. And for everyone else, ciao for now.
Ciao.